Hello, fellow viewers, or randoms, lurkers. Today I'm going to talk about a story. A story me and Star Guardian Neon had of Miraculous Ladybug, whether it's like weeks of Season 5 stuff, other characters we like or dislike, that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, she won't be here to talk, so I'll be speaking as another voice, as her will, I guess. You'll be able to know when you see it. Anyways, let's begin. So, what would you like to talk about when I awake again?
I don't know. What do you think about the end of season 5? Some leaks about derision, how Chloe and Lila are handled, the whole reverse love score at the beginning of the season. Take your pick.
Alright. Neon, neon, remember my... Not singing that song. Anyways, I think the end of season 5 is bittersweet. Or maybe good. For the most part, kind of weird. Yeah, it's unfair Gabriel got away with it and doesn't have to live with that, but that's how it went. Many bad people just can, and there's nothing really that can be done about it. I'm also satisfied they had a big win for the end of season 4 and 5. Then I'm like, maybe Ladybug and Cat Noir should have gave this to this desperate one, their Miraculous seasons ago. But they did well playing keep away. Lol. And at least Adrien will have forged memories of him being a good father. And now has more moms, like Lila. That's good, I think. Adrien will at least no longer be constrained like before, it seems. But now, Marinette's aware of who his dad truly was. If that's so, she'll be dealing with what she called Lila's actions out on. She's the queen of calling Lila out. Anyways, couldn't Ladybug or Marinette reveal who Adrian's father truly is? Is she willing to? Even if it might possibly negatively affect Adrien by granting him the real truth of his dad? Are not that funny? All she said in the past, all of why and what she doesn't like Lila doing. But now, a bigger scale of burden crashes down on her to bear. What if for the lulz to screw with Marinette, Lila instead tells Adrien the truth, ruining the happiness by telling the truth about his father? Ain't that funny? Alright, let's see what else. So, for Chloe and Lila, haven't seen everything of what's been going on for this season 5. Sucks for Chloe, and Lila stay winning the war still. So for Chloe specifically, I get Chloe should pay for her bowl, but it seems like they're just trying too hard and want Chloe to seem like a goddess of torment. I guess it gives reasons why the class pretty much don't like her most of the time, I guess. But the way it's been going since, like, I don't know, maybe Miracle Queen at least, or rather since Zoe arrived, it just seemed really forced. Yeah, we got characters worse than Chloe, but I guess the reason why, it's just on Chloe, I guess. Aside from it feeling forced to me because she's out in the open with her crap and she can say daddy, and then you're like screwed. They probably look more forward to when Hawkmoth akumatizes or causing problems, or to get akumatized for revenge and dealing with Chloe every day. It might be a messed up way I'm thinking of it, but shrugs. That's possibly another reason why they all are fine with Zoe when she's present, and because it's been seen distorting Chloe's father's power that Chloe uses on everyone when she can. And the other good thing is, this time, unlike before, the last nice person that they think they know of, Marinette has no ill will towards and doesn't go after. So that's double the fun, I guess. As for Lila and Chloe still teaming up, I'm not surprised. I don't know if Lila will ditch Chloe later like the Hawkmoth incident of before. Chloe's fate though at the end, if the script and story stays the same, is a dang. It feels so wrong to me. Can Chloe leave Paris now as Miracle Queen? Yes, but suffer a couple more seasons and lose everything. In the end, all you got is your mom, and maybe Lila. Wild, cause Lila's last words to Marinette and Chameleon all literally went to Chloe instead. That sucks for her. It's really funny though, and now it's literally canon. Chloe's dad disappoints me. I have no words for him. Maybe I'll just call him Zoe's real dad, or Chloe's former father. I haven't been this disappointed at a character since seeing Miracle Queen for the first time. Where's Zoe's actual father? I want to know. Unless he's Colt. And by character for Miracle Queen I've been disappointed at. It's not Chloe. Kinda expected for me. Okay. But this may be what Chloe has to face. Even if who are actually worse have good endings. Or Chloe goes way below rock bottom. I was thinking all this crap would draw Chloe further to becoming Hawkmoth instead of Lila, but I do, however, feel like if the story seems to be going this way for Chloe and she doesn't try to get better independently, Chloe might have enough emotions after all of what happened to make Lila drawn towards her. Unless Lila's already intended to have Chloe under her wing for a bigger scheme, or item to use. It's possible she might end up succeeding Lila or becoming the final villain. If not her, then maybe Tom might succeed Lila instead. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Let's see what you got to say, Neon.
Yeah, I think Gabriel got what he wanted. In exchange, he died. But he's paying as a hero instead of the villain he was. And Adrian doesn't get to know about it? What? Unless they decide that Ladybug tells Cat Noir next season, meaning she would be revealing to Adrian that his dad was the villain they fought for a year and traumatized him forever. But it'd still be better than getting fed some pretty lies. I feel Marinette absolutely has no right to keep Adrien in the dark like this. Sure, she fought Gabriel for a year, but Adrien is his son, who also fought him for a year, and deserves the truth instead of his girlfriend keeping him out of the biggest secret in the world. We get it. She loves Adrien and wants him to be happy and protect him, but honestly, between him and his father, she should not play that game of lying to his face about his dad's real self. I honestly want Lila to actually tell Adrien everything she knows about his dad. Sounds cruel of me, but Marinette's lies about Gabriel after season 5 is even more cruel, I feel. Marinette's feelings for Adrien should not give her a pass for how she does stuff for him that he doesn't ask nor want. And if you're telling me after years she can outright lie about his dad to his face forever out of what? Love, pity, sympathy, empathy, respecting Gabriel's last will? BS. Yeah, Marinette keeps finding ways of even being more hypocritical each season, I swear to God. Which is half the reason I don't like her. Especially when she sounds so self-righteous about it. Again, yes, I want Lila to reveal to Adrien the truth about his dad. He deserves it. No matter how hard or cruel it is, the truth must be looked on dead in the eyes. A beautiful lie will always be a lie. The ugly truth will always be the truth. Period. For Chloe, I only see what she wished for back in Maledictator and the Miracle Queen, leaving Paris with her mother, except she forgot some crucial details in her wish. That her dad wouldn't be around to abuse his power and authority anymore, so she could get away with her actions all the time. Sabrina isn't going to be with her to do all her dirty work, and her mom being different from André. Or is it André? Whatever. I don't know. Anyways, she expects Chloe to do well in her education, which, to be honest, is fair. Who wants their kid to fail at school, honestly? Parents who either are idiots or just plain neglectful or abusive, which makes Chloe fearful because she's well aware that Sabrina has been doing her work for years, and now she doesn't have that, and is actually nervous of her future performance for her mother to watch. But screw Audrey for wanting her daughter to apply herself well at school. Sounds normal almost. Did I mess something up when writing that? I mean, when copy and pasting that? But screw Audrey wanting her daughter to apply herself well at school sounds normal almost. It feels threatening, only Chloe, because she knows she's been slacking off for years. If she hadn't, she'd probably be happy to prove her intelligence to her mother. Not this time around.
Yeah.
So far in the show, only 6 people ever wanted Hawkmoth to come to them. Chloe, Lila, Gabriel himself, Natalie, Tom, and Jalil. Out of all of them, only Jalil did it. Out of misguided view of justice. I think I'm just gonna say Alex's brother. Losing his sister in time for who knows how long because Ladybug asked for her help. Despite her full team of heroes, she still failed and got most of the Miraculous to Gabriel. By mistake. The other 5, well, Chloe and Lila, are selfish and entitled. Tom and Natalie were happy to help Hawkmoth for his goals. Gabriel akumatized himself to throw off the possibility of him being Hawkmoth. As for other characters who are mean, well, Kim was a bit of a bully at first, but he seems more like really inconsiderate and really lacking foresight compared to the genius glee of Chloe and Lila when they hurt someone and do it on purpose. Though derision, harden my stance on Kim. Bob Roth is a bit more like an adult Chloe, but with his own power and influence coming from himself in his career, and given his threat and silencer, doesn't need Hawkmoth's help at all. XY. I'm just gonna call him Boy. Is also a jerk, but probably is too stupid to consider using Hawkmoth's help other than his dad's. Alec turned a new leaf from being a jerk to a nice guy and wishmaker. Ugh, now I gotta look up her name, the science teacher. Ms Mendeleiev? I'm just gonna call her science teacher. Anyways, she's hard fast, but still cares and doesn't take anyone's nonsense. I need to go for maybe 20 minutes. We'll answer the rest after.
It's fine. Take your time. I need to look up who Jalil is. I definitely missed something. Ha 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 ha. Ah, he's Alex's older brother. I vaguely remember seeing him. Actually, I remember seeing him. It was only in the Pharaoh, but I never knew his name was that. Oh yeah, Kim. I was watching Lee Wi-Fi recently. He was in cahoots to spend Alya. Man, the principal's frightened. I smiled when Lee Wi-Fi first went towards Damocles, whatever Owlman is, and got Owlman to admit his wrongdoings in the video chat. Roth is a sleazy scrubball. I remember not liking Alec, but I forgot why again. Probably something to do with Stormy Weather episode or something else. The people filming Chloe live while her mom humiliates her. I don't remember Boy lol. Boy chromosome lol. I still kinda don't like the science teacher. But I get her. Owlman? Nah. I might be more neutral or positive about the science teacher in the future though. Oh god. That's the first episode of Alec and his stormy weather. That was a later episode in the season of Miraculous Ladybug. Like episode like 5 or something. I miss when Marinette's voice was kinda deeper.
To be fair, everyone in the team would trade Chloe for someone else after her stunning Miracle Queen, which she doesn't even apologize for, because the main heroine, whatever, doesn't want to call her for understandable reasons. while also being hypocritical about it since she brought Ryuko. Ryuko? Whatever. But Ryuko never had a chance at keeping her identity secret. Kagami was the only person inside. Ikari Gosen. So when she comes out, even without Ryuko calling her mother, well, it's not her fault to be fair, and throws a fit over it like a toddler. Betrays her and the rest of the heroes after some sweet talking from a local terrorist. Just in exchange for her miraculous. And she still hasn't apologized for it at all as of season 5. For all of her talk about calling Ladybug out on how she lost most of Miraculous to Shadow Moth, she isn't really better, as she outright sided with him before, and wasn't going to give any Miraculous back to the heroes, and she was aware of what she was doing, and ain't sorry about it, and doesn't at all apologize or bring it up somewhat. Though I must say, in the shoes of the heroes, I probably would have talked about it to the authorities. I'm sure Chloe wouldn't lie about it. Would be too much pissed off about being denied Queen Bee again to care about anything else. Zoe cares. She's different from Chloe. She's a nice girl who puts the mean act to get liked, only for it to blow up all in her face the moment she slipped up and got abandoned by all but one friend. She seemed clearly not happy at pretending to be mean either. Her dad doesn't seem to care much, and her mom not really either. Regardless of what Zoe wants or feels, though she allows, Zoe's had a better position than Sabrina. Zoe's a better position than Sabrina. But Zoe is struggling to be accepted and being somewhat she doesn't want to be, leading her to make some poor choices. But with Marinette and the rest of the class gets to be herself and be accepted. Once she's honest with them and herself, it helps Marinette see her as being a nice girl without any pretension on her part. Before Chloe introduces Zoe to the rest of the school. Otherwise, maybe Marinette would have thought that Zoe was the same as Chloe and wouldn't have bothered with her at all.
True. So maybe it's not that I just don't like Zoe's existence in Miraculous Ladybug. It's probably more of I just don't like Miraculous Ladybug season 4 and that it really turned me away. I don't know, a lot of things that they said about Lila that Adrien Marinette despise of Lila doing. You get the New York special after Miracle Queen, I guess. And then after that, Marinette and Adrien says you get granted Truth and Lies. And then it's just stupid out of order episodes. And then there's Queen Banana, which I do not like at all. Mostly because the creator does a major part in the episode, takes a major part in the episode. I do not like creator self-inserts in episodes. I mean, unless they're not interacting with the main characters at all. That's why I don't like Maestro in general. This seems unnecessary. Like, use something else, some other character that ain't yourself. But hey, it is what it is. So, that's the same for Chloe's purpose in the show. If the writer wants her to fall and doesn't like her, oh well, is what it is. Unless you are the writer or creator of it, or co-writer creator of it, then you're gonna have to deal with Chloe falling or possibly rising again. Things aren't fair for characters that you like, so be it. But you can make AUs, I guess. I mean, that's what you always do, or some of y'all do. Whatever.
Yeah, Lila and Chloe have goals in common and shared an enemy that they both equally hate. As Lila puts it in Penal Team, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Besides, not the first time Chloe does something of this sort. She teamed up with Marinette and Maestro to stop Kagami to watch a movie premiere with Adrien, which is beyond stupid and mean on Marinette's part, if you want my humble opinion. Especially as far as I'm concerned, Kagami never did anything wrong to Marinette herself. She told her bluntly once she wasn't going to make any progress with Adrien, which is the truth. Using Kagami as an excuse is crap. Kagami arrived in season 2. Marinette wasted a whole season of missed opportunities and occasions to confess, and Kagami wasn't around to have anything to do with it, and actually never done anything to prevent her from seeing Adrien or confessing to him. But Marinette kept a grudge anyways, simply because Kagami was the only person not to coodle her on how she handles her crush. Boo-hoo! On top of Kagami not even having a crush on Adrien at first in her debut episode, she develops one in her second episode. After she gives him some advice, he asks her out, not Kagami. And in Maestro, Kagami shows off with Adrien to Marinette and Chloe. Yeah, 'cause she had just arrived, greeted Adrien and Chloe, and Marinette were glaring daggers at her over it. That's it, and she's supposed to, what? Be impressed? Back off. She had the ticket to go see the movie, and Adrien wanted her ticket. Marinette wanted her ticket. Did people forget that at the beginning of the episode, Marinette said she was received an invitation as Ladybug, but declined it because her words. She was a hero, not a celebrity, of course. That goes through the window as soon as she learns Adrien's attending the premiere, because he voiced Cat Noir in the movie. Cue Marinette begging her parents to let her help them with their stuff for the event, but we know she'll ditch them the first chance she gets to go woo Adrien in some way. And then, of course, Chloe and Kagami are there, and Chloe immediately chose the lesser rival in terms of threats, which was Marinette to her. Kagami was more dangerous to her because her mom's important enough to be close to Gabriel, and Gabriel allows Kagami to be with Adrien at important events. So Thomas episode was basically Marinette spending the episode team up for a bully to bully another girl for a movie ticket that she refused at first, simply because she believed Chloe's lies about Kagami Adrien going to live in Japan. That reminds me of, didn't he say like eat sushi forever or something? Isn't sushi Chloe's favorite food though? Choosy. Whatever. And then she tries to act all high and mighty, thinking people are too gullible to buy Lila's lies. She's the first to get hooked when it's anything about Adrien and her love rivals. Please. You know, that reminds me of that Sphinx game where Marinette heard about this gift Lila's gonna give that Adrien would probably like, and she thought to the Tiki that they'll go to like Italy and have an endless piece of romance or something. Also, not sure Lila will ditch Chloe. Chloe will be going with her mother, so it's more likely Audrey making Chloe ditch Lila probably. Though I doubt Lila will care. She can get other people to listen to what she says. Basically everyone but Marinette, Adrien, Gabriel, and Natalie maybe. Yeah, Lila's words and Camellia going to Chloe more than to Marinette at the end of the season, though I doubt Lila herself will be responsible for it actually. On top of Chloe leaving is what Chloe herself wanted on 2 occasions. She'll get that and realize immediately that it's not going to go the way she thought it would go at all. But then again, Chloe fails to think of the consequences of her choices at times, so naturally, she'll pull a surprise Pikachu face. The mayor gave Chloe what she wanted 2 scenes ago. He lets her go with her mother and gets Zoe away from her by keeping Zoe. Chloe gets what she wished for, only for it to completely go backwards on how she wanted it to be. If you see what I mean. She leaves Paris, but that means leaving all of her privileges and power, and influence she had thanks to her father there as well. She also leaves half of her family, which was the half that she cared the most about her. And that she treated like crap 99% of the time, in her dad's case and pretty much 1% in her sister's case. She gets to be with her mother, said mother, probably not going to be around a lot. But she'll have big expectations for her, expectations that she feels she already fails because Sabrina won't be around to do it for her. Because oh yeah, while she's leaving Paris, Sabrina isn't coming with her. Last point, Chloe wanted to get rid of Zoé. Well, Zoe's staying with André instead of going with her and Audrey. She stays in her city. Chloe's the one that's leaving, which she wanted to leave before. But now it sounds less fun when knowing nothing in her life will be the same anymore. I doubt her new school and new classmates will tolerate the behavior she's been having for years. Long, very. Which means if they call her mother to tell her about this, well, her mom probably won't use the money, power, and influence to save her butt from consequences. Which after 5 seasons of seeing, this will be refreshing. Sorry to say this, but Chloe can't continue abusing her power and money for the rest of her life that way. It turned her so mean, cruel, spoiled, entitled, narcissistic, and toxic. She needs people to step their foot down and tell her no and punish her and scold her when she's doing bad things on purpose for the sake of it and because she can. She needs limits. She needs rules. She needs people to stop cooling her and catering her to every whim. She'll just end up worse for her in the future. If she's not shown limits soon, life was too nice for her. It's time life starts showing teeth to make her understand. It's also a bit for her own good. A person never learns limits or no can't be really healthy in the mind. I think the show does a good job of showing Chloe, and Lila too, what a person who never had been held accountable for any bad things they did would end up like. And, well, at the end, they aren't able to change it yet. But seriously, they will need a long time to undo all the damage and habits of years of bad behaviors and habits. People expecting Chloe to change in the span of one episode are seriously making me laugh. Her life made her an addict to her privileges, status, and power. You think she'll let it go all so easily? Think again. They're drugs that she's really addicted to because that's honestly all she's known all her life. She's rich, she has status, her father can clean up after her, and makes her innocent of any little bad things she'll do. And she can, and will do it again. Why? Because that's what she's learned growing up. Ever seen a drug addict in real life? They'll go to some desperate lengths to still do drugs, be it robbing people or places, lying to their friends and family, thief, name it. And when you try to help them, when you try to make them stop doing drugs, boy, is that a huge ordeal for both you and the person. Also, not easy and simple at all. The person doing drugs needs to want help. Want to help themselves as well. Cause you can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved themselves. Also, they might and probably will have relapses without fail. It might not work the first, second, or 10th time you try. It might not never work out for them. Or it might after who knows how long. But it's predictable. You have no idea if you save that person from addiction. Said person doesn't even know either. Maybe the person will turn better or worse after it. Because withdrawals, symptoms, anyone, those are real beef. Anyone who overcame an addiction will tell you that much. So for Chloe, well, I feel it's a bit of that. Chloe might be broken enough after some time with Audrey to actually want to be a better person after it all. I feel her going with Audrey and having to do her own work this time, around without the people who are closest to her, around to support, love, or enable her, is a cruel karma that she needs to have to maybe grow as a person. Sometimes jerks don't become better people after being shown kindness. It's after going through hell and back and learning some stuff about them along the way that makes them realize how wrong they were for them to actually start to better themselves and become good people. Sometimes a little pain might be a bit more effective than any goodwill or show of good faith thrown in their way. Some people only learn the hard way, never the easy way. Seems it's going to be that like that for Chloe. If she becomes an even worse person after this, if she comes back in the show, then sorry to say, but I doubt that anything will redeem her. She will have reached rock bottom with Audrey. How she learns from it will probably say more about her than anything else. If she hits the bottom but finds the strength to go back up, that will probably mean she finally learned how wrong her past behavior was, and finally start to become nice for real, and not for a magical jewel. If she keeps stewing in her own negative feelings, that's probably going to destroy her as a person. Pretty sure Lila will be the final villain. Chloe just doesn't think far enough in the future to be efficient, much as I feel. She thinks very short term in the future instead of very long terms, on top of having to gloat about what she does wrong when she gets the first occasion. I doubt it. Tom already seems to have succeeded Natalie. Lila will have succeeded Gabriel. Doubt Chloe could succeed. Thanks for your patience. Took forever to write all post. XD. At one point I had to delete a line cause I used the full capacity of words. For real. XD. Let's see. There are no more options. Chloe has been out of control for a long time overall. She'll have to deal and rise, or be stagnant and continue falling deeper. At least Chloe and Lila still might have time to change their ways. You have much of this to talk about. Jalil is Alex's older brother, the Pharaoh. Also, one of the few people who willingly let Monarch akumatize himself, though unlike the other characters he had better intentions at it somewhat. Oh, yeah, now I remember that episode. That episode was kind of interesting. Season 1 that is. Alya was gonna be the sacrifice. No wonder I didn't remember who he was. Though I actually completely remember the episode. I never paid attention to his name. Very well. It's your turn now, Star Guardian. Yeah, to be honest, Alya was wrong to take a picture inside Chloe's locker, and Kim defended Chloe. Chloe, of course, immediately abusing the situation to her advantage, was even more frustrating. The principal was stuck between a rock and a hard place. The mayor is known for abusing his power and threats. He fired Sabrina's dad in one episode, though even André has his limits, as he cannot ban someone from the city over something stupid, like when Chloe wanted Marinette to be banned out of Paris. And André outright said he couldn't do that. Seriously? Ban a 14-year-old girl from a city? How would it look like to anyone? Or shutting down the school for good? Something André can't do either. At most, he can close it for a week, but Chloe only wants the biggest punishment possible for anyone, and anything that slights her in the smallest way possible. Even if real or not, even if she's not in the right or is. Alec was revealed in Wishmaker to make fun of people on the shows for real in order to make them feel the same pain he got when he was a kid for having an afro, so he turned to have no sympathy to anyone losing on the shows. Which of course, when confronted about it in Wishmaker, seeing people he mocked for their silly dreams actually have found a meaning, the genuine appreciation for what they do like. Unlike him, it breaks him down. And when deakumatized, he decides to follow his childhood dream and be the person he really wants to be, which to be honest, I feel that was a very good episode, with a good character development for Alec, not gonna lie.
Alright. Wow. That's something. Guess I'll watch that soon. So, that explains a lot. So, I might actually not dislike him as much as I normally would. Since it's pretty much, yeah. You know, you remind me why I kind of like stopped disliking him as much earlier, since you said that. Because I remember like reading about that somewhere, the real truth about why he's been that way. But then, yeah, so, but then, yeah. So yeah, I'm kind of like gonna watch the episode. My stance of Alec is kind of like different now again, since you mentioned that. It does make sense. I kind of don't like that he just like went against everyone, but like it feels like told to me like he just goes after like specifically like people that were like descendants of the people that made fun of him, maybe, or just the same people that made fun of him initially. I'd be fun of him, I wouldn't even mind. I actually support him just being like a jerk to those people. And for their offsprings, that's what you get for being a jerk as a child. Things come back to bite you in the end sometimes, you know? Hauntings of the past, ghosts of the past. That reminds me of something I watched from the Equestria Girls thing, but whatever. That's for another story about Equestria Girls. I'm gonna talk about that soon. About some characters of that series. Okay, let's see. What you got to say now? Star Guardian Neom.
Bob Roth is one of those people I feel cannot be redeemed, like at all. I say more people filming Chloe while her mom gives her a harsh speech is deserved, after pulling a stunt that nearly killed several people and that she also called the press to tell them she was going to do the rescue to boot. That is true, Neo. I guess I'm a bit insensitive to the situation. I guess it's pretty much because of the Marinette calling Chloe out on it. But it's true, she shouldn't have been a Sabrina to her Chloe of a mother that doesn't love her. How ironic. Anyway, so let's go with why. Although it is true, what she did was wrong. Very wrong. It's because Marinette basically did the same thing on the Christmas special. It may have been less, but it's kind of maybe possibly more dangerous, honestly. Okay, so kids making fun of and being of Santa Claus, Adrian being nice to Santa Claus being nice to him and just deciding to take him home because he's alone and like in the dark or nighttime. So he takes him home. Gabriel starts accusing him and threatening Santa Claus that he's something else, and Adrian tries to tell him that he's been with him all this time, he didn't do anything. But then that Marinette pops out the blue and thinks that this Santa Claus is so akumatized by Hawkmoth. So she tries attacking him while he runs away, telling him that she's crazy or they're crazy. And then, like, Adrian tries to tell Marinette that it's actually not an akumatized person because he's been there with him the whole time, but Marinette's so invested in her mind that it is that she doesn't listen to the one that she ironically is obsessed towards. So because she's so invested in it for some weird reason. So basically, later on, as Santa Claus runs away on his sleigh, Marinette Yo-Yo wraps him, flings him in the air so he can end up falling head first onto the snow floor. Head first onto the snow floor. There wasn't much snow. And he said that like really hurt. Do you see how wrong this is, honestly? She was so invested. Just think about how dangerous that is. Being so invested in thinking someone's like Kuma that you want to possibly kill someone over it because you think they're a Kuma, even though someone else already told you that it wasn't. If anything, that's just equally or even more
bad than what Chloe has done because Chloe is like an experienced little idiot. But Marinette, she's been doing this for a while. She should know what she's doing. But yeah, that's pretty much why I'm a bit like, eh. But the difference is Chloe did it in public, Marinette did it more in a private place when no one's like really around.
Ms Mendeleiev is a neutral character who takes no crap from anyone and still manages to be relatable while also being harsh but kind of fair still. Rose using perfumer class while they had stuff could have easily blown up if she sprayed it too close is understandable. That was a security failure on Rose's part, on top of listening to the news in secret while in class, which is also a forbidden thing for anyone, no exception. Owlman makes me think a bit of Kim, a dude who could be said is nice, but also an idiot and not really thinking through much, leading to a lot of problems. I like Ms Mendeleiev enough. She is freaking the only villain to go after Karomix directly. And when explained, the situation is better thanks to Cat Noir. She understands and accepts the situation, and even compares it to an idol of her, it seems, which is enough to satisfy her. Okay, finish writing my answers. What do you think of them?
Fine responses. I see. Alex became a jerk to all he can be. That Clommy Buster episode, it reminds me of like when Mr. Crocker be like yelling, "Very good parents!" Now things kind of make more sense to me now. It might explain why Dark Owl decided to like confiscate like Max's robot and threaten him like detention if he like didn't like back down, even despite him and his robot friend saving the school from losing data. Because like if you remember, Chloe can like threaten like Owlman anytime she wished during that season. In next seasons, I guess till like 5, I guess, which might explain why. Despite Marinette having like a good history and basically confirmed that she's like not a cheater, once they like saw the pendant in her locker of Lila's thing that she made up of, he decided that she must be expelled from school. I mean, like, if he wasn't gonna do it out of fear, Chloe might force him to do it out of fear. Yeah, he's just like in that situation that he really can't escape from due to Chloe's current power at the time, making him make very possibly unfair decisions. So I guess I can't be too upset over him, maybe, because after all, his dad could fire like Sabrina's father, as you said earlier. Crazy. Unfair enough. Yeah, but at the time, it still kind of like made me like annoyed by the science teacher because like she was like asking for it to be confiscated, but she was being a bit insensitive to Max's robot, and Max's robot is like has a mind of its own, a will of its own. But it wasn't her that confiscated, it was the principal. So, but yeah, I kind of like did not like her at all. Like really, kind of neutral of her in general, but like. Okay, let's see what she got to say now.
Well, we see it happen in real life when kids never respect rules and never learn boundaries. They grow out of control, they feel entitled to everything, which is Chloe's case. And of course, when things don't go their way, they lash out because they're used to things going their way only, and nothing else. Lila seems to take that on a new level though.
You seem to hold a flood of information to talk about from Miraculous Ladybug, or know of, and speak from all sides you can, it seems. It reminds me of a few YouTubers that I watched when reviewing Miraculous a while ago, probably like a year or two ago. I wish she did use YouTube to post character or story analysis of Ladybug episodes. Are you gonna make some more posts in the future?
Yes, I do. Like I said, I've been watching this show since it started. I got a lot of opinions on it since then. XD, I've got rant buddies over it. Basically, we ran over the show together. We're not insulting each other or anything. We just talk about everything or anything on the show. The characters, the plots, the episodes, character developments, things we love about the show, things we hate about the show, things about that confuses us or irritates us. You get the picture. And I'll happily chop the ear off of anyone willing and wanting my thoughts on it. I'm not there to argue. I'm here to tell my point of view, my thoughts, my feelings, how I think about how the show does stuff, my analysis on it. I'm not here to condemn people for hating or loving stuff on the show. not there to also not listen to what people have to say about it. I'm open-minded enough that I have been able to change my thoughts on stuff that I was pretty stuck on in love or hate train. Though I have my limits, like anyone else. The Chameleon Salt Fix being my first limit. I'm never reading them. They just demonize the class so much I feel like I'm reading a book about the Batman's rogue gallery instead of a class of 14-year-old kids, just going with their reputation of how far the Salters are going.
Yeah, Lila is something else. I avoid all Salt Fix lol, or Salt prompts that people love requesting, or Salt fan art comics. Maybe also be like doing like Salt, then like Sugar with the other character. Usually Salt like Classo or Lila Salt. I usually see all the time. Whenever I used to like look up Lila. Man, hatred of her. It's fascinating. Okay, let's see what you have to say, Mion.
Thanks. Yeah, except the science teacher. She's more reasonable and likable than Mr. Crocker, XD. Well, after being around since the beginning, when it started, on top of having a view of the world that's not just black and white, and having some good friends and seeing some good stuff in analysis that kept my faith in the show, and the fandom strong, I surely hope I can do my homework correctly when talking about it. XD had no idea how to do YouTube videos, to be honest. The only ones I have is because I can record my matches in League of Legends, and when I download it to my computer, well, I can then have YouTube go search for it. But I have no idea where or how people do their videos. I'm also more comfortable writing in English than speaking it. I can speak it, but I lack the practice, so I also keep getting sidetracked by one thing. I'll need to go to details in many parts of the conversation, as you surely noticed in my answers above. XD, if you want, you can do videos, and I talk about what I wrote to you in our conversations. I give you the consent, you publish it and be my voice. You would also have my permission as long as you don't skip any of it, cause it might lose some of the meaning otherwise. And yes, of course I'm gonna make more posts about the show. I've just started. Now there's nothing that can stop me, unless, well, you know, my Wi-Fi not working at the moment. Or a die, XD. Yeah, Lila and Chloe seem to be on the same boat as far as I'm concerned. Except they're sitting at different ends. Chloe doesn't hide her emotions, thoughts, and intents, unlike Lila. Chloe's an open book. Lila isn't. Chloe will be vocal about your destruction for the whole world to hear. Lila will make sure not only you will know, while the rest of the world is oblivious to it. Heck, at one point, she'll make you even oblivious to it, to the point you won't even hear it coming until she shot you in the heart from the rooftop, at probably 1 kilometer away from you. uh, the only Saltfics I like are the ones that deconstruct the whole Saltfic genre, or who actually give surprisingly realistic outcomes if the situation were to actually be handled like in real life, such as Adrien probably being completely paranoid about Marinette keeping tabs on him if he found out the whole depth of how much she knew about him, because one, it's terrifying, and two, he's Cat Noir. He wouldn't want her to learn that by following him anywhere, of course. On TV tropes? There's actually a page with a list of fics that deconstruct many salt fics and tropes and the consequences that will entail if such behavior were met. Interesting to read in some parts.